What's up, everybody? In this video, I'm going to show you some important on-page SEO strategies that you can use to get more search engine traffic to every article that you publish on your site. So for the sake of this video, we're going to assume I'm trying to rank this page for the keyword how to get backlinks. And the first thing we want to do is use a tool that analyzes a lot of the important on-page SEO elements for us. And to do that, we're going to use a tool called SEO Workers SEO Analysis Tool. So just Google SEO Workers SEO Analysis Tool, and this is the first result. And when you're here, scroll down, put in the URL that you want to check and the CAPTCHA, and click the Submit button. When you do that, it'll send a spider to that page that analyzes the most important on-page SEO elements, which we'll go over right now. Now, when you get your results, scroll down. The first thing you want to look at is the URL of the page. Now, ideally, you want to put your keyword somewhere in the URL, okay? And in this case, the URL is exactly the keyword with dashes, how to get backlinks. But if you don't want to do that, you can just include your title as the URL, so that it would be how to get backlinks with gestographics. You can include the month and year along with your keyword, a month and year in your title, whatever. It doesn't really matter that much as long as the URL does contain your keyword somewhere. Now, the next thing you want to do is skip right here and click on the meta tags analysis area. And what that does is it shows you the title tag as search engines see it. And this is the most important on-page SEO element. So make sure that your keyword appears in the title. In this case, it does, how to get backlinks. Now, whenever possible, when it makes sense for the title of your article and for users, you want to put your keyword early on in the title. Okay, so you don't want to have it where, do you want more search engine traffic? Then you need backlinks. Here's how to get backlinks at the end. You want to put it somewhere towards the beginning. Now, this also checks to make sure that your title tag isn't too long. Okay, so if your title tag's too long, that's another problem with putting a keyword at the end. Sometimes they won't even count the characters after a certain point. So make sure you have a title tag that's below 120 characters and that has your keyword in the beginning. Next, we'll scroll down to the meta description tag. Now, the SEO world is kind of divided to whether or not this keyword, this tag matters anymore. I think it matters a little bit, so I always just write a unique one just to make sure that it sounds good, right? That's really all I'm looking to do, and include your keyword once in the meta description tag. Probably doesn't make much of a difference, but I at least like to present an enticing description tag to increase the click-through rate in the SERPs themselves. Now, I just scroll down and just skip all this stuff. The meta keyword tag doesn't matter. The keywords and key phrases doesn't matter because that's all keyword density stuff. These are the URLs, again, the keywords. So you scroll all the way down till you get to the heading and phrase elements area of the page. So heading and phrase elements. And you want to make sure that the H1 tag includes your keyword. And the easiest way to do that is just to make the title of your post an H1 tag. Okay, so how to get backlinks with gestographics. So in this case, it includes the keyword. You also want to look at your H2 tags, which are usually subheadings in an article, and see if you can get your keyword to appear at least in one of these. And that's really all that matters from the SEO Workers SEO tool analysis. Now we're going to go to the post itself and use our heads, because there's no tool that can look at some of the stuff we're going to look at now, or any tool that does. So the first thing you want to look at is where the keyword appears first in the document. Now, we obviously have the keyword in the title, which also happens to be the H1 tag, but whenever possible and when it makes sense to users, you want to include your keyword somewhere in the body of the article up top, okay? And in this case, I did that here in this sentence where it says, it may happen behind the scenes, but some people know how to get backlinks with ease. It includes the keyword how to get backlinks. Now, as you can see here, this flows naturally, and this is probably how I would have written it even if I wasn't targeting that keyword. So if it doesn't make sense for users, don't include the keyword at the top or in the document at all if it only makes sense in the title, right? So that's the most important thing. Next, you want to include multimedia in your post. Whether or not Google actually values this directly, no one knows. But I've found that posts that contain multimedia like pictures like this, screenshots and videos tend to increase engagement metrics, right? More people tend to spend more time on the page, bounce rate is lowered, and things like that. And those are things that Google does pay attention to when ranking your page. So whenever you include a post, make sure to include as much multimedia as possible. That makes sense. Next, you want to make sure that you're including outbound links in your article. Now, as you can see here, here is a sentence right here. Now check out the link profile of the page that published it, and this is an outbound link to a related site to help the user understand what I'm talking about. I also included here Neil Patel, I mentioned him, and had a link to his Twitter page. Here's a link here to Visually, which is an authoritative page. So just make sure you're linking out, let's say about 5 times for every 1,000 words. Now, that's not a hard and fast rule. There's some posts where it doesn't even make sense to link out, and some way you'll link out more. But if your entire site is only internal linking, that doesn't look very natural, and it doesn't look like you're a very participative, member of the web that Google likes to see. So just, link out where it makes sense to related sites. Now, one word of warning, you do want to be careful about who you link out to. So obviously you're not going to link out to any shady sites, but whenever possible, link out to authoritative sites like Twitter, like QuickSprout, like Visually, just sites that tend to have a lot of trust with search engines to show them that you're someone who knows, to reference the right sites. The last thing we'll talk about is right here. You want social sharing buttons prominently placed on your site to make sharing easier. Now, this isn't exactly on page because social signals are kind of off page, but it is really important to put these somewhere prominently. I see a lot of people hide their social icons like tiny at the top here, and by the time people read them, they get halfway down. Maybe at this point they say, hey, this is cool, I'm going to share this. You want this somewhere where they can always see it and share. So I usually put one at the side, and then I give them another option to tweet at the bottom right here. Now you can include Pinterest or other things that might make sense for your vertical, but you should definitely make sure you have at least Twitter and Facebook prominently displayed, preferably Google+, and maybe LinkedIn or Pinterest. So that's it for on-page SEO. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.